In a time long past, nestled beside a vast desert, was a small village, where a fakir, a man of profound peace and wisdom, made his home. His reputation drew people from the farthest corners of the land, all seeking his counsel and blessings. By his side was his only disciple, a young man named Aamir, who had dedicated many years to serving his master. Aamir held his teacher in the highest regard. Yet, a persistent confusion clouded his mind. The fakir possessed no wealth, stored no food for the morrow, and wore the same simple, worn clothes, day after day. Aamir couldn't help but wonder, how can a man live with so little, and yet be the very embodiment of peace? One afternoon, the fakir turned to his disciple and said, "Tomorrow, my son, we will journey to the city." Aamir's heart leaped with excitement. Perhaps this was their chance to earn some money, to finally experience the world beyond their quiet village. The following morning, as the sun began its ascent, they set off, their bare feet tracing a path through the warm desert sand. The journey was long and arduous, the sun beating down relentlessly. By dusk, they arrived at a magnificent city, a whirlwind of noise, bustling crowds, and the glint of gold at every turn. Aamir's eyes widened, sparkling with a mixture of awe and desire. "Master, look at the riches all around us. Why do you never wish for wealth like this?" The fakir simply smiled, a gentle, knowing smile that reached his eyes. "My son," he said softly, "I have no wish to own the world. I only wish to understand it." That night, they found a place to rest near a breathtakingly beautiful palace. As they settled down, a group of the king's soldiers, clad in fine silken armor, walked past, their loud laughter echoing in the night. Aamir let out a soft sigh. "Master, perhaps, if we had gold, people would respect us too." The fakir, in his quiet way, picked up a small smooth stone from the ground. He tossed it into a still, nearby pond. Concentric circles spread across the water's surface, disturbing its calm. "Do you see the ripples, Aamir?" he asked. "Yes, master," Aamir replied, his gaze fixed on the moving water. The fakir continued. "The stone disturbed the water's peace. Gold, my son, does the same to a man's heart. The more he gathers, the more his inner peace disappears, lost in the ever-widening ripples of desire and fear." The next day they resumed their travels, leaving the grand city behind. Their path led them to a humble hut on the outskirts of a field, home to a poor farmer. Despite having very little to his name, the farmer welcomed them with a genuine, heartfelt smile, and offered them a share of his simple meal. His generosity touched Aamir deeply. After they had eaten, and were on their way again, Aamir turned to his master. That man had almost nothing, yet he seemed so content, so happy. "How is that possible?" The fakir's gentle smile returned. "My son," he explained, "you must remember that happiness doesn't live in the house, it lives in the heart." Their journey continued. Days turned into weeks. They walked through relentless storms, enduring biting winds and cold rain. They faced gnawing hunger, their stomachs empty for days at a time. They felt the scorching heat of the sun on their skin. Aamir, young and less accustomed to such hardship, felt his spirit beginning to break. Finally, one evening, his legs gave way. He sank onto the cool desert sand and began to weep, his shoulders shaking with exhaustion and despair. "Master, why must we suffer like this? Why don't you use your wisdom to pray for comfort, for an end to this hardship?" The fakir looked up, his gaze lost in the vast star-dusted canvas of the night sky. His voice, when he spoke, was as soft as the desert breeze. "My dear Aamir," he said, "if life were always comfortable, man would forget his connection to the divine. He would forget to look up at these very stars. It is the feeling of thirst that reminds us how sweet water truly is. It is the struggle that makes the moments of peace so precious at that moment." Something shifted within Aamir. Tears still streamed down his face, but they were no longer tears of despair. They were tears of understanding, of profound realization. He finally saw the truth. His master wasn't poor. He was the wealthiest man Aamir had ever known. He was free. He didn't need gold or palaces, because his heart was already full to the brim with a treasure far more valuable: boundless peace. Years passed. The fakir, having lived a full life, eventually passed away, leaving his wisdom as a legacy. Aamir, shaped by his master's teachings and their transformative journey, became a wise and respected teacher in his own right. He guided many souls, sharing the lessons he had learned. But through all his years, he never forgot the most important truth his master had ever taught him, a truth he now shared with the world. True peace is not found in having more, but in needing less. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. If it resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more tales of wisdom. Your support means the world. Until next time, be well.